Bryson, I love Bryson DeChambeau, but he needs to just stick to YouTube golf at this point.
Well, and you know what? It may not be. I mean, obviously, the purses that you're shooting in there, but also going and playing in the majors bolsters your YouTube presence, right? So it is no fault to go and to play in the majors and use that for the national television plug. More people exposed to your name, they look you up, they find you on YouTube. Not a terrible thing. It's no different than what we do, right? Like,
Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Pods Plays Golf from the Scratch Project and the Steam Project Sports Network, and this is day 2 recap of the U.S. Open. You can get by, honey. It's okay. She went to go get some pizza. So Wyndham Clark, -1 today, came back down to earth. I didn't think there'd be a chance at another -7 or -6 day, and he's still in 4 strokes. He's ahead by 4 strokes ahead of the pack, which has quite a few people at -3. Notably, Xander Schauffele, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Tom Kim, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa's at 6th with a -2 overall right now. He's having a -5 day. Xander had a -4 day to get him to -3. And I'm going to bring in someone who has been missing for a little bit. So welcome back to the Scratch Project, and joining me for the U.S. Open recap of day 2, Mr. Bubba Starts. How's it going, man? Haven't seen you in a minute.
Gang? Hey, good to see you. Good to be here.
Love it.
I was just finishing up my supper, buddy, so glad we could be here. Yeah, Will Clark just continue. I mean, only shot -1 today, but
hey, he shot consistent, safe, steady golf after shooting a -6.
And Pods, we've been busy all day with like our county celebration thing, but course conditions, I mean, nobody's shooting astronomically low, right? This course is just tough. If you're off the fairway and you're in that fescue, you're risk blowing your whole tournament, right? I mean, it can go from bad to really bad to taking a short flight home today. What did the cut line end up? Are they finished now?
I don't know if they're finished yet, but from what I was seeing earlier in the day, it looks like the cut line could be anywhere from +4 to +5. It's really, there's been some scores, let me tell you. Bryson, he was -1, -2 yesterday, and now he's +5.
Yeah, some +7s. Koepka shot a +7 today. You got to imagine he's definitely missing the cut at 10 over. So no repeated Shinnecock for Koepka.
And there's no repeat for JJ Spawn either, the defending U.S. champion, because I think he's +7 right now. So here, I'm going to look at the score real quick, and let's just put it this way. So we've got 4 guys tied for second. Notably, of those guys, Morikawa, Schauffele, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Today, Schauffele shot a 66 or a 69 at -4 to get him to -3 overall. So he went from +1 to -3. So he moved, which is good. Colin Morikawa, though, is a huge story. because he's at -2 tied, but he's shot -5 today. So he was 2 over to start the day.
Yeah, 3 over.
3 over to start the day.
Yeah. So, some guys that moved put themselves in a position. Justin Thomas on it. I mean, and the way that the courses play, and anybody that's in that, if you're even or better right now,
let's just put it this way:
good.
Even's 11th place.
Right. Yeah. You're
got
feeling
Scheffler and Rory right
good.
there.
You
Tied
are
for 11th.
in striking range because Will Clark is one shot, and everyone's one shot away from their tournament flipping on its head completely. Right. And that just speaks to the level of difficulty that Shinnecock Hills is. Just absolutely incredible. Hey, Scotland.
Hi. Hello. Just to put this into context too, Bubba. So at 73 is +5, and DeChambeau's there at 73, and that might be the cut line. I can look up what the current cut line is right now because they're not showing it, but let me see. U.S. Open.
It sure looks like everybody. Oh, no, there's one person left out there. Onishi.
So the official
one
cut line
left.
is +4. So Bryson's go home for another major, my friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bryson, I love Bryson DeChambeau, but he needs to just stick to YouTube golf at this point.
Well, and you know what? It may not be, I mean, obviously the purses that you're shooting in there, but also going and playing in the majors bolsters your YouTube presence, right? So it is no fault to go and to play in the majors and use that for the national television plug. More people exposed to your name, they look you up, they find you on YouTube. Not a terrible thing. It's no different than what we do, right? Like, we're not pros and covering.
Yeah, but the
PGA
guy's won it twice, and he's just not looked the same anytime he's. Here's the problem, and this is where I think, like, hey, good for the public. Any publicity is good publicity. It doesn't matter, but for him as a player, because I really like Bryson. He's my second favorite player behind Jon Rahm. And I love how he is with the kids. I love how he is with everyone. He's a cool dude. But he's not doing himself any favors by not even making it to the cut of these majors. He hasn't made the cut in the last 2 majors. I don't even think he made the cut for the Masters.
But he probably is, though, right? Like, you can't buy the kind of publicity that these national coverage on these things bring. And because he is such a big name, that I don't think he's doing himself a disservice. I don't think he was ever going to be someone that was hailed as one of the greatest of the game. But you can be someone who advanced the game of golf. You brought it to more people. You grew the game of golf, whether it be, in the pro ranks or, in the amateur ranks, whatever you want to call YouTube golf. And you know what? He's made a significant amount of money doing it. And he's probably making a shitload of money on the side of the brand endorsements and things that he's getting out there. So if he's got to come out and play 4 times a year and miss the cut, I'd take it.
Yeah, but I guess from him being one of my favorites, though, it's just like, man, I expect so much more of him because I've seen him when he's on.
Yeah,
and nobody can touch him when he's on.
None of these major courses play into his strengths, right? Like, he needs.
Well, I don't think any of the courses are going to
scramble out because he's going to grip it and rip it, and he's going to go wide, right? But he's also going to bomb the ball 420 yards once. You know what I mean? And there's just none of these major tournaments that really favor that kind of play, right? So could he go out and probably win some of these other tournaments and to have those? I mean, he's got his name on a couple of these, right? He's won 2, you said?
He's won 2 U.S. Opens, yeah.
Good enough, man. You got your name on the cup twice, right? Like, what more do people need? There's some guys that struggle their entire careers and never get to do that at any point, right? So
some people struggle their entire careers just to get their only PGA win.
Right. So, and you talk about what he's created in the brand with, the Bug, the Crusher. I mean, just everything around him. I think he played it right, knowing that his style of play was never going to put him in a position to be a Tiger or a Rory and those Grand Slams. I mean, it's fine. You still get to go play the most beautiful courses in the world. Everyone knows who you are
I
in the
know,
golf
man,
world.
but dude, I know him. I know how good he is, and it's just like I want to see him. Like I want to
Sure,
see
he's
him
good.
on
It's not
top,
he's a
bro.
bad golfer, but consistency has never been his game,
No,
and
and
it
that's
takes a
why
lot.
he's my second favorite golfer behind John Rahm because Rahm is super consistent.
Yeah, very mid for the last long time. Do you think it's hurt Rom to go over and to play lesser competition
It's
the
hurt
way
both of these guys
right? Well, and just to not be
significantly.
playing the same courses and being, you're overseas most of the time out there. Where did Rom end up on the leaderboard right now? I guess I'm not
Rahm, last I checked, I haven't checked him today, but he was in like a tie for seventh at one point. I don't know if he had a good round or if he blew up. So let's see. I'm looking for the Spaniard, and it ain't looking good.
no tied 86 +8. He shot +6 today, or +8 today, +6 for the tournament. Gone
Jeez.
too. Another
Yeah,
guy
and that's
hits
another
bomb
thing too, dude,
and
is Live is just not it's not the competition. Like another guy, Joaquin Neiman, who qualified for a major, who's a Live guy, I think he shot a 10 on a hole today. A 9 or a 10. And he had a 2-stroke penalty assessed because of something
those
he
are
did.
those are Pods plays golf scores.
Brother, don't even go there. I shot a 10 today. I shot a 10 on a par 5 today, and I shot 52 through the 9 on the back. And if I didn't have that blow up on that par 5 and I just shot bogey or double, I would have finished in the 40s. But I shot a freaking 10 because I just a mental midget.
Yeah, that's all right. We're not supposed to be good at this game. I don't what you've had like one half-ass lesson from a guy that you were playing with.
I've had two golf lessons from an actual pro, and it's helped
Oh,
my
really?
swing.
I've never
Yeah.
had any. It's amazing I know
And
how to hit a ball.
now I'm starting to miss left instead of right, so that's a thing. I hit 6 fairways today out of 9 though with my
There you
driver.
go. See, and you play a lot too. I'm jealous of that. I get out and play 6 times a summer at this point. There was a point where Danielle and I had a membership at our local course when we were both working all the time. We spent a ton of time out there, but it was also never, like my wife's not competitive. She's not trying to be good at golf. She doesn't she won't even hit her driver, right? She's hitting her hybrid off of the tee box regularly because she just refuses to hit it. So plenty of clips
Scotland
of
beat
that.
me today in a putting contest. Well, I beat her overall, but she beat me on we were playing 2 putts to the hole, right? So who's closest on the proximity to both putts is overall wins that hole. We were playing on the putting green. And on the first one, she beat me. She canned it. Like she just did this weird thing. She walked up to the hole, she pointed to it, did the thing with her, like she was chopping at it. She looks right at it, just drills it, and I'm like, the fuck?
Like I said, man, I say it a lot. I wish I would have had a camera rolling on the one Danielle hit on our honeymoon because it was bananas. And she's done that a lot. She's got a dead eye, but we haven't played consistently. We didn't play a lot last year with her going to college and everything. It just wasn't. It wasn't in the cards. But yeah, man, it's a hard game, right? It's supposed to be hard, and this U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills, which we knew was going to be,
Bro, this course has got teeth.
yeah, big time. Big time. You can't miss. You have to play consistent. You can't miss hit a ball all day, right? And it takes a lot to do that. And shout out to Wyndham Clark for even didn't shoot great today, but still shot under par. And I think that's I don't
And
know
he's got
that
a 4-stroke lead going into the weekend, and that's huge at this course.
right. And I don't know if that means that he's going to be able to hang on for the next 2 days as well. The winds could change, a lot could happen. A windy day out on that course, and nobody's shooting over par, or nobody's shooting under par rather. So it's going to be an interesting weekend. I
What's
don't know what
interesting though is the guys who have shot under par and had really good rounds today were 2 and 3 over, so they've only made pushes in the second. So even though they shot these incredible -4, -5s, it was only good enough to get them into second because of how rough of a first day they had.
Right. Well, and it seems like that. Guys that shot well yesterday didn't shoot well today. Guys that shot well today didn't shoot good. Right. So
It kind of
it's
reminds me
who can
of,
have two good days in a row now to finish this
yeah.
tournament out.
I don't remember the tournament that it was, but me and you were covering it, and it was Sung Jae. He shot a 63, but it didn't matter because he was like +4 going into that, and it was like the third or fourth day.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, Sung Jae, great 63. It was Aramink. It was like great 63, but you were +4 coming into this. So now you're only -3, and the lead at Aramink was like Aaron Rye won that one. I want to say he won it like -12 or something. So I think at the time it was like Aaron Rye was at still -8. And it's like, great, 63. You're still down by 6 shots.
Yeah, well, and it's going to be an interesting weekend. I wish I had time to take it all in. It's we're so busy this weekend. I was fortunate I got to catch the highlights and come on to join you today, and just want to shout you out and thank you for your coverage and being on here doing the show solo last night as my boy had one of his last little league games of the season. His last one is Tuesday, and then they move into tournament play. I'm actually going to miss his tournament game because we'll be at the Skunk Classic, but such is the life sometimes, and you just kind of got to power through. Hope to get that. I wish you were closer and you could cover it for us, and then I would be able to watch the coverage later. But yeah, man, this U.S. Open is proving to be a challenge for everyone.
I like this, though. I like this because I'm getting to watch guys use way more of their bag. It gets monotonous sometimes watching these guys just hit driver, short iron, wedge, putter. Like, come on. Let's see like that playoff between Scheffler and Matt Fitzpatrick at the RBC Heritage where he hits this
cool
4-iron out of the sand and it's like 12 feet. You're like, that's that right there. I want to see that.
Do you think, and I know you covered it a little bit on the pod yesterday, do you think the ball changes and possible rule changes coming out, do you think they're going to have a major effect and to make things a little more of an even playing field, or at least a little more exciting as, you know, not everyone can bomb the ball 380 yards.
See, that is what I was talking about yesterday. So I don't know if you caught all of it. Is they're actually rolling that back. They're going to keep the tech the same with the ball, so they're not rolling back distance. What they are suggesting about doing, though, and it's murmurs, is they're going to start adding more trees, let the rough grow a little longer, and they're going to start thinning these fairways out, so more areas of rough. And personally, I like that idea more than doing the rollback on the ball because, cool, bomb at 340, but now you're in the trees in the rough.
And it's like even harder to scramble.
Exactly. It's even harder to score out of there. Because now you're incentivized more with the narrowing of the fairway and the addition of more rough/hazards is now you maybe take that 3-iron off the tee or that 5-wood off the tee versus, well, the rough's not that bad. Let me just bomb it down there and take a wedge out. You know, like, I want to see creativity come back to the game, and I want to see shot selection because I don't feel like there's a whole lot of shot selection, you know, on these other courses. Like, when you see a course like Aramink and you see a course like Shinnecock, we've had guys win that you're just like, who? Because we had Aaron Rye win. The only person of note who's won this year is Rory at the Masters. You know, I guess you could say Matt Fitzpatrick, but he's no Scotty Scheffler, you know. We've had so much parity at the majors outside of Augusta, but we've had so much parity because, like, these guys who are more known for their ball striking and their accuracy are taking it home versus the guys who are just known for, you know, bomb and pray.
Yeah, well, and I agree that it's easier. It's an easier fix to change the course than to change the ball tech because you're talking about they have a little bit, I don't want to say control, but they have influence over the courses that are being played, where these companies that are creating the balls, they don't have any control over
right
that.
And I think it's
I don't think
yeah.
kind of I just don't see it. having the benefit that you want it to.
No, because when you're talking about rollback, I mean, I think they were saying that Cameron Young, and I forget which tournament he won, but he won a tournament over Scheffler too. Cameron Young's Pro V1 that he uses right now is not this year's Pro V1. It's like 2 years ago, and technically, if they were going to roll it back, right, his would conform, and he still can bomb that thing 305 yards carry. Because when you're talking about technology with the pros, it's a percentage of a yard of a yard. Because the guy who's like me or you going to the golf course, or even the guy who's like in a local tourney, you're not going to see the difference in tech unless your swing speed is 120 and your ball speed's touching the 150s to 170s. You're not seeing that fractional difference. Because you're not hitting the ball 330. You might hit it 270, roll it out 290, but these guys are carrying it like 305, 307, and rolling it out to like 335, 340, which cuts a par 4 more than in half. Like when you can bomb it and cover more than 65% of the fairway, it's a wedge or a short iron. That's it.
Yeah, it definitely changes the game. And that's why we're, seeing the score shot that we are. And a lot of that has to do with the tech of the ball. Speaking of that, did you see have you seen that video? I saw it was probably a reel on Instagram that I saw, but it was of the ball shot at like 170 miles an hour into like a steel plate, and the way that it compresses down to nearly flat and then bounces back. Pretty cool slow motion. I mean, it's shot at 1,000 frames per second or whatever.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty awesome watching the tech and what they have, but pretty incredible. I wish I could hit the ball that well. I wish I could hit the ball straight right now. That's all. I just haven't had any.
That's what I did today, but this is the problem. I hit 6 fairways with my driver today, right? And I carried it out today. I was averaging 225 today because I had help from the wind. So after rollout, about 225, and I was carrying it about 180, 190. I'm still having to, take a 3-wood or take a 5-wood or take a long iron into the greens. But man, do I stink at the second shot.
That's the part of my game that's actually not bad. I bought a new set of irons a couple years ago, and I tend to hit those pretty well. So I do okay off the par 3s, and I do okay once I get the ball, but I'm so all over the place with my driver right now, and I just don't have any time. We don't have a range, so I'm not able to go out and hit and get a lot of reps. I didn't play a lot last year. I haven't played a lot this year already.
But
I dropped a bunch of clips in our folder today, so everyone will see them going out on our short clips coming at you guys. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel, new listeners. I appreciate you being here for our U.S. Open coverage. What you got, Pods?
Hold on. Par 4 and second short iron. That is a golfer's dream. Seriously, it's the everyman's dream, but that's not us, Like sometimes on a par 4, I can get it there in 2, but you know what? That second shot's either right or left. It's never right at the green, or I hit it. In this case, I actually hit it. Man, what was it? I hit it long, like I hit it straight, and I'm like, oh my god, that's right at the pin. And then it's 20 feet over it's 20 feet over the green, and I'm like, okay. I'm so upset today too. Like, not actually upset, satire here. I had a 10 on a par 5 today, and it was a great, missed tee shot for me because I'm missing. Like, I went left and I rolled into the dirt, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that. I missed left. I'm gonna hit another one just in case it's gone, though. Right?
Yeah, at least it wasn't the fescue at Shinnecock.
Right. So I hit the second one. I see it underneath this guy's fence who has a pool. I'm like, okay, that ball's gone. I'm not jumping this guy's fence because that's just dumb. All right. And I got a million other balls at home in the ottoman, and I can always buy another sleeve. So we're cool there. I start walking down the line, trying to find the other one, and I'm praying. I'm like, please be inbound so I don't have to take a drop. Little did I know it would not matter whatsoever. But so I find it, and I'm like, okay, it's sitting up in the dirt. I take a 6-iron out, and it's like compact, but enough to where you could still launch the thing. And I set up over this ball, and I'm thinking, all right, just hit it out. Take your medicine, just hit it out, right? And like I get to the backswing, and I'm swinging through, and I hesitate right before I hit the ball, and I just top this sucker right into a tree.
Right.
And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, I'm like, I'm gonna blow up, and I'm not even gonna get it on camera.
Yeah. It's all
And so,
mental for you, isn't it?
yeah, so third shot, I'm underneath the tree that I just hit. Took the 6-iron again. This time it actually goes in the air. Now it goes into the bunker, right? Greenside bunker. And I'm thinking, all right, fourth shot in the bunker, get it up for 5, potentially make a 6, get out of here with a bogey. Life is good. What do? Take a 60-degree wedge, have the best contact I've ever had with a ball ever, and completely sail it over the green by about 30 fucking yards. Out of bounds. So I have to take a drop from my last position, which is the bunker. So now instead of shooting for 5 on the green and potentially making a 6, I'm now shooting 6. So I take the same shot again, take a little off of it. What do? Skull fuck it over the bunker again. This time it had the courtesy to hit the cart path and roll out of bounds. So now I'm sitting 8. Finally get out of the bunker, sitting 9. And I hit it, miss it, pick it up for max at 10. Because we're being realistic with how that hole was going. If I had kept playing, I probably would have shot like a 24. And I get off the green. Scotland's looking at me. She's like, "What's wrong, babe?" And I just take the wedge that's in my hand, and I just slightly throw it in the soft grass. Like I didn't like slam it. I'm just like disgusted. I'm like, I don't deserve to touch this right now.
So funny.
Bubba, I was so disgusted after that. Like,
here's maybe my best shot of the day. It plays that way. It came down. This one wasn't.
I could see it. You faded it back in. So
it was so windy out there. You can hear it howling on the camera. Apologize for the noise there, guys. But
no,
yeah,
it's cool.
Okay,
that was an impressive shot, though.
That's such a fun hole. That's kind of our signature hole. Looks back over. I've shanked a bunch of those into the highway. You couldn't see any cars going by this time, but then there's a creek down there too. Danielle's got a couple of good ones. I can't wait till people see those shorts.
I had a friend I was playing with at Apple, and he shanked one into a car off the hood, and we watched it bounce like 40 feet in the air, and we're like, are they going to stop? They just kept going. And Hector's
what do you even think that is when you're driving and that it's like, oh,
I don't know, man. I guess like my mind would be like, as long as it's not my windshield and it's just a dent that I can buff out, I'm okay. But there is one thing I wanted to talk to you about, though, because I wanted to get your opinion on this, because Rory was really outspoken. I spoke on this yesterday, but I was wanting to get your opinion. The track 1 and track 2 events. What do you think about that?
I haven't followed up. Explain it to me.
So basically, they are going to do track 1 events being like the majors and some for like higher tier players, I'm assuming. And then the track 2 events is supposed to be like another way for lesser known players to get more events in and stuff. So it's almost like, you know how in soccer you've got the Premier League, then you got the Champions League? Well, it's like that, but now it's like, I guess, lesser events going to track 2.
Pretty much putting something like in between the Korn Ferry Tour and the PGA and having a JV tournament.
Yeah, but then that just seems kind of weird to me, though, because you already have Korn Ferry and then you also have Q School.
Right.
So why PGA 1, PGA 2? Like, why PGA Track 1 and PGA Track 2 events? Who qualifies for Track 1 and Track 2? Like, what are the Track 2 guys playing for then? Because obviously the Track 1 guys are playing for the FedEx Cup points in the majors. So how do Track 2 players, what's their end goal for the season? To get a Track 1 card? Or what?
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. And I think this kind of speaks back to, I mean, this is the reason that you had a live golf in the first place, because the game has grown so much, and you can't just let 300 players onto every tournament, right? Like infeasible. So it feels like with live dissolving, that the PGA is trying to find something. Feels like this isn't the last of these kind of wild ideas that they're going to leak out just to get a feel on the public opinion and the players, right?
Well, this is supposedly not a leak out. This is supposedly a done thing. Like, it's done. Like, this is supposed to be implemented by 28.
Interesting. I don't think that I have a big problem with it.
I don't have an issue with it, but how would you implement it when you've already got Q School and the Korn Ferry?
Yeah, those are just different things, though. I mean, you're trying to take amateurs to pro status. This is a secondary pro league, a relegated league, essentially, for guys that want to keep playing. It would be interesting to see where the money lands. I think that's kind of the biggest thing in there. But it's already like this for a lot of guys. A lot of guys aren't playing all of the tours and showing up for all of the things just because simply they don't have to. Why kind of, put yourself through this brutal schedule? And you kind of talked about this a little bit with the Canadian Open last week, where it was just like, it was pretty dry as far as the top name goes. So these top guys who can afford to miss some tournaments and that want to take the big swings at the other ones, maybe they're getting some extra practice time out at these other courses, and really just playing for those. And I think you had a little bit of pushback on this because of the FedEx points, right? You kind of implement that to get guys to show up more, but you can also get enough points winning one tournament, placing at a couple of others, and the money in there, that I don't see a problem with a relegated secondary, part of that. The thing to me, I would be interested, and I'll have to dive into this more, is what's the benefit for the Track 2 guys? Are they trying to,
what's the benefit over the Korn Ferry Tour?
Right. Well, it's similar to that, right? Do you have to pass through Track 2? Like, you have your card now. The reason guys are playing Korn Ferry is because they don't have their PGA card yet, correct?
Right.
Like, so you're past that, but then you're in this track. Like, do you have to play up out of that 2 to get to the 1 events? Or is the 2, just a way for people to keep things going? Do you get another cup, right? Do you get a Track 2 cup in addition to the Track 1 being the FedEx? It'd be interesting to see where they are. I'm gonna have to do my research on this.
And that's another thing that's interesting, though, too. And I thought you would appreciate this simply because take the golf out of it, right? How does this work logistically, business-wise? Like, if you got Track 2 guys, are you going to have the FedEx Cup Track 2, or do you get another sponsor for that?
It would be a whole nother cup. It would be another sponsor. It would be, a whole different thing. Are they going to run the same amount of tournaments? Are there going to be 2 divisions? Are there going to be like there was when the Myrtle Beach Classic was going, right? That you have a whole nother tournament that's out there as well. Do you have these 2 tournaments running every week? Can the PGA, as a, as the entity that it is, can they divide their, their workforce essentially into that, with the way things are aired now, and because it's so different, and a lot of these, tournaments are kind of doing their own coverage, right? The Masters has its own team of camera people and everything that are running their own coverage in addition to the national broadcast, and that landscape changing. It puts a lot more money on the table if people are going to watch it, right? And maybe it's not the same numbers. Obviously, nothing's really bigger than the majors as far as, watch time and on these things, but most of the tournaments aren't being aired on the over the air broadcast anyway, right? You might get something on Sunday at this point. You
what I think would be a great opportunity for this? What if you were talking about how they would need a Track 2 sponsor for the Cup, right? Well, what if they partner with a streaming partner like an NBC, like a Peacock or something, or an Amazon like that, and they have the whole series streamed, and that be the cup sponsor, like the Amazon track, like the PGA Track 2
Right.
presented by
Hey, no doubt
Amazon.
Netflix might get into golf, right?
Right.
There's definitely some there's definitely talks going on behind the scenes. I'll tell you what, if there's a track 2, that leaves a door open for a team like us to come in and to, because not everyone is going to want to cover those lesser tournaments, and that's kind of why we can get in on the PGA Tour of Champions stuff, is that there's not a lot of coverage to those anyway, and they're always looking. I'm all about it. The more golf we get, the better. With Live dissolving, you have more golfers that are going to be coming back, that are coming back in and need somewhere to play. But like I said, you can't have, you can't invite 300 people out, and you might as well have them playing. If there's going to be someone that's willing to pay for the streaming rights and to put it out there, and there's going to be sponsors that want to be affiliated with that, if there's money on the table, I don't know why the PGA wouldn't be interested in kind of doing the legwork to put the tournaments together and to get them out there. Going to be interesting to see how this plays out and what it looks like in 2028.
Yeah, and I think the other interesting thing too, like we've talked the golf portion, we've talked the logistics, we've talked not logistics yet, but we've talked the business side. Now, logistically, right? You're acknowledging that this is PGA Track 2. So these guys have their card technically. Does that make them more or equal to the DP World Tour then? Because they also have affiliations with the PGA. And I guess another thing that kind of makes me question some things is, if you're going to divide the tour into 2 tracks, what event in track 2 would equal, okay, you qualified for a major? Like, can you qualify for majors in track 2 since you technically still have your PGA card, or can you only qualify for majors in track 1? That's another thing too, is like, okay, so if you win as it stands right now, I think, is if you win a PGA event, you automatically get an invitation to the US Open and the Open Championship. And I'm pretty sure the PGA Championship too. The Masters, I think you have to win a signature event or something like that, or be a certain point in the world rankings to qualify to get to the Masters. And then there's obviously the amateurs that get in on their thing and whatnot. But like, how do you divvy that up, like logistically, as the as the entity that is the PGA who's going to govern this, and how you're going to have to work with the World Golf Ranking Association too? How do you decide who, what victories are worth more points or are worth an invitation to a major championship?
Yeah, I don't know. Would be a great angle. And we have obviously some PGA, contacts that are on, on our connections, right? On our LinkedIn and around there. Interesting conversation. I wonder how much we could find out. Keep digging around, see what's public knowledge, but also maybe try to get some interviews on the channel with people who maybe have some insider information that they can share that's maybe not that the public's not completely aware of or well versed in, right? Because there's a lot of this stuff as it gets leaked out that not everyone is doing all their homework. Case in point, myself, but something to definitely look into. And
Rory said though, is he's like, well, track 2 is just basically going to be a glorified Korn Ferry event. That were the words verbatim that left his mouth too.
But it's not, because you're talking about guys that already have their PGA cards. So it's not. But what are they playing for, right? I mean, you're playing for money. Obviously, you're playing to make a living, which I think is something. There's something to that, right? That these guys, this is what they do. This is what they've always done. This is how they make a living. So that's why I guess, like, from the player's perspective, I don't mind that. Obviously, the purses are going to be less money than your major events. But if there's people that are willing to put into these things, I don't see any problem with having.
You know what, though? Golf. There's probably going to be more events in track 2 than there is in track 1. And I think what that will ultimately do is, even though the purses will be lesser, there's more opportunities to earn money with more events.
Big question would be, are they going to play the same courses, right? Are they going to play a completely different tour and completely different courses?
I think it would
be PGA season.
I want to say the PGA season is from April till September.
So you got maybe 24 weeks, 26 weeks, maybe, less than half the year, ish, or half the year at 26. Yeah, there's 52 courses that could get played, right? And the ones that are played in the PGA are pretty well set. There's other championship courses that are out there. I think you got plenty of courses, you have plenty of players, and I think that the live experiment kind of proved that to some degree, that you were able to break off all of these guys and big names, and they went and played in a totally different league, and you have these other ones that are playing around, and you were still able to put a really good product out on the course. So them reevaluating them, and I think they owe a debt of gratitude to Live Golf for kind of proving that without them having to take
I think this would also bring into if when they do this track 2, why I think it's another net positive is more courses around the world and around the United States will get PGA certification, because then they need more courses to play on. Because I think as a track 2, I think outside of the majors and maybe signature events that you get invited to, I think these players should never ever be on the same course at the same time. Outside of the exception of a signature like the Zurich Classic where they scrambled, or a major like Masters, Open, you name it. I think having those two be separate would be beneficial.
Except when you invite the top, and maybe it's like a top 10, right? The top 10 in track 2 get invited to the majors. So there's a constant battle throughout the season to be in that top 10 of points in that track 2. I would find that interesting, because then you could have a kind of recurring or a different batch of people that, like, say you shot well early in the season, you
finish in the top 10, you get your card.
Well, or you get moved up and the bottom 10 of the PGA, get relegated down to track 2. I'm very interested in this now. So I'm going to do my homework before we talk next week, because I won't have time to do it this weekend, obviously. And you may be on your own for the rest of the weekend's coverage. I'll see about Sunday. Hope to be able to jump back in with you.
Brother, you're not going to be here Sunday.
We'll see.
It's Father's Day.
It's okay. My kids are probably going to be with their grandparents by that point in the evening anyway. So it is what it is. And I'm going to be, probably beat tired because we got 8.5 hours of driving that day. I will have seen enough of my kids. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're good.
Well,
8.5 hours.
Get out of here, Bubba, is there anything this week in terms of the US Open that you've seen so far, or just something cool golf related? That
I literally seen 12 shots of the US Open, and that was in the highlights I watched 5 minutes before we went live tonight. No, man, it looks difficult. It's easy to look at the score, the leaderboard right now, and be like, it's playing tough. And the fact that you have so many big names that are not going to make it. Koepka, Rahm, DeChambeau, and many, many others. Cam Young, or not Cam Young, but the other Cameron not making it, right? Like you have a bunch of big names that aren't going to make the cut this weekend because.
And then you got an old dog, you got an old veteran, a hungry vet like Wyndham, who's.
I love it.
If it holds, he's going to collect his second.
Gary Woodland out there holding his own. It looks like Gary made the cut, and 2 more days, man. 2 more days. And can you avoid that disaster hole? And can
that's going to be the big thing. That's going to be the big thing. Yeah.
It's going to be massive.
All right. Well, guys, this is the Scratch Project. I am Pods Plays Golf. This was my friend Bubba Starts. We will catch you tomorrow. I might just be here. Bubba might be here. Who knows? But before we get out of here, this project and this show wouldn't be possible without our friends at Skunk Golf Company. And I think it's only fair that before we get out of here, we show you some of their great gear. Skunked Golf. Look good, even if your game stinks. Skunked Golf. Look good even if your game stinks.